So I wasn't even going to make another video on this topic because honestly, I really don't need to, because my videos weren't even countered or debunked. Just a lot of flip-flopping, sidestepping, and honestly, straight up lying going on. And honestly, that's the reason why I'm doing this response video, this last video on this topic, because people either don't want to understand what I was saying or are too stupid to understand what I'm saying. So they're going out there spreading false information, spreading lies about what I actually said. And I don't appreciate that. So word on the street is good old Dr. Trey told you that pre-PlayStation 2 era that 60 frames per second was not possible? What? What? I never said that, you freaking idiots. I said that on an interlace signal, it was impossible to see a full 60 frames per second. I never said that these devices weren't outputting at 60 frames per second. I never said they weren't capable of 60 frames per second. I said due to the kind of TVs, the kind of displays that we were using, we were unable to see the full frames. That has nothing to do with the system, the horsepower of the system, nothing. None of that. None of that. I said the displays were keeping us from seeing a full 60 frames per second. And you probably ask yourself, well, if it's capable, we should have been seeing it on the TV. That doesn't make sense, Dr. Dre. It makes complete sense. You can have a device capable of doing anything, but if your monitor, if your freaking TV isn't capable of doing it justice, you're not going to see it. Blu-rays are 1080p native. Can you have a Blu-ray player hooked up to a 720p TV? Of course. Will it work? Of course. Are you seeing a picture? Of course. Are you seeing 1080p? Hell no. Interlace versus progressive scanning. I said, and I made sure that I said this carefully and I repeated this. I said with interlace, you cannot see a full 60 frames per second. Now, let's go to, since you guys are dummies, let's go to dummies.com and let's look at interlace versus progressive scanning. Now, let me read this to you, because obviously it seems like a lot of you niggas can't read. Let me read this to you. Interlace scan. Traditional TV systems, such as NTSC, the standard TV system in the United States, use interlace scan, where half the picture appears on the screen at a time. Let me repeat. Half the picture appears on the screen at a time. The other half of the picture follows an instant later. The other half of the picture follows an instant later. 1/60th of a second to be precise. The interlace system relies on the fact that your eyes can't detect this procedure in action, at least not explicitly. So pretty much what they are telling you there is that interlace is a visual trick to give you the impression of 60 frames per second. The impression. Now let's see what progressive scan says. In a progressive scan system, the entire picture is painted at once. entire picture, full frame. Entire picture, full frame. You cannot see a full 60 frames per second while interlace because only half of the picture appears on the screen at a time. Do you understand that? Only half the picture appears on the screen at a time. The other half, I said the other half of the picture follows an instant later. An instant later. An instant later. You understand now?